Hi guys, so welcome back to this Node.js tutorial. So in our last slide, we had added this table right here, and then you were fetching this data dynamically, whereby right now we have the list of the three users. So we want to now start when we want to start working on this other page right here, like the add user. As you can see, we just sending a response with a text add users. So let's go back to our VS Code and then start working on that page. So in our view, we only have the user.ejs. So the first thing that we're gonna do is to add a new EJS file in there. So we can just name this file add user.ejs like that, and then in there you can do HTML. Let's see. There's this feature in VS Code where every time you type HTML, it's going to auto-complete it for you and then just give you uh, the template. So as you can see, this one right here. So if you click on it, it's gonna give you this scaffolded template right here. So now you can add an h1 with a tag add new user, and then now we need to link the CS file. Remember, we already have this index.css file, and like the way we did it in our add user, sorry, the way we did it in this other file right here, the user.ejs. So we go back in there, and then right here beneath the title, you're gonna see we have this link, and then it's going to be pointing in the CSS, and then slash index.css. So you can even just copy it from here and then go back to the add user, and then just paste it on the bottom. Okay, so we go back to the browser. At this point, because we're not rendering, we're still sending a response. So to start seeing, if we reload the browser, we still get the same text. Because remember, in our controller, the controller is sending this response. So we need to render the EJS, and to do that, we're gonna remove the send, and then just use the render, and then the name of the file that we would like to render is called this is the file right here. So we just add the name of the file. So add user, just like that, and then inside an object we can specify the path, and in our case the path is going to be slash add. Just one moment, you can double check the path. So you in the browser you can see it's slash add user, so don't forget the s right there. So add users, just like that. So if we go back to the browser and refresh the page, when we click refresh, you can now see that we have the h1 tag with the add user right there. So it looks like now it's working correctly, but at the moment we're only rendering. At the moment we are only let me see. At the moment we are only rendering the h1 tag with the add new user right there. So now next we would like to add maybe we would like to add a form in there for rendering, at least, I mean, for adding the details of the new user. So for this we can maybe add a div, and before we do that we need to add the navigation links on this EJS also, EJS file. So because in the user.ejs we had added this div right here with the class nav, so you can just grab it from there also, and then just paste it in here at, at the top, just beneath the body, like that. So what I just added is a div with a class of nav. It has an h1 tag. Sorry, it has a tag with the path leading to home, and then just the text logo, and then underneath there's a list of unordered elements, and one is pointing to the user route, to the users route, and the other one is pointing to the add users route. So if we check the browser, you can see now we have our logo and we have these two links, these two navigation links, and if you click on the users, it's going to redirect you to the home page. So next, I would like us to add the form in there for submitting the details of the new user. So to do that, just come to the add user file right here. So beneath the h1 tag, and I mean beneath the h1 element, we're going to add another div, and then we can give it a class of form in there. Just add a form tag, and then for this one, inside the form we need 3 inputs, because if you see the users.json file, we have the name, we have the phone, and also the email. So we need to add 3 inputs inside the form. So one of the first input field is going to be of type text, and then we can give it a name of maybe name, and then placeholder something like name. So we need another input field, and this one is of type text. Let me double check the user.json. So we need the one for the phone. So we can leave this type as type text also, but the name of this input field, we can name it phone, and then the placeholder, just add phone, like that. Okay, so we need one more input field, and for this one the type is going to change to email, and then that way we get that email validation in there. And then also for the name, you just set it to email, and then for the placeholder, just set it to email. Next we need a submit button, so let's add a new button in there. In there we can give it the text inside the button. We can add it, we can maybe say add, and then for this button we need to add a type of submit, just like that. So let's go to the browser and refresh the page real quick. So as you can see, now we have these 3 input fields with the button with the text add. So let's go ahead and add some padding in there. As you can see, it's we need to add some padding on the top and maybe on the left and right. So maybe we can add some styling in our index.css. So to do that, let's go back to our index.css. Now we need to apply the padding on the input and also on the button. So let's go to the index.css, and then so input, can add some padding, maybe padding top and bottom we can set to 8 pixels, and then maybe 5 pixels left and right, and then also we need to add some border radius. Border radius, we can set it to maybe 5 pixels. So what else? Let me see. Let's double check on that real quick. So you can see it's looking much better. We just need to work on the now we just need to work on the button. So let's go ahead and apply some styling on the button also. So if we go back to our VS Code, underneath the input styles, we're going to target the button, and then just we can have the same maybe padding. So for the top and bottom 8 pixels, and then for the left and right we're going to be adding the 5 pixels right there. So border radius similar, you can do a similar border radius, and then maybe background color. Let's see, background color. For the background color, you can pick one from here, even this one, cornflower blue. And then we need to add the color of the text. You can add it to white, maybe give it a white color, like that. So let's go ahead and refresh the browser. And then now we need to remove this border right there and increase maybe the width of this button. So far it's looking good. So let's go back to the VS Code, maybe add a width of maybe, I think 90 pixels should be good. And then border, we can remove the border of our button, and then also maybe the outline to none. Okay, so let's go back and refresh the page. So as you can see, it's looking much better. I mean, you can do more in terms of styling in this button, but I guess I can just reduce the width maybe to maybe 50 pixels, and then see how it looks. So for right here, for the button thing, we can reduce it to maybe 60 pixels, and then once we refresh, things looking much better. So if we inspect our page, let's get an inspect it. So if you right click and then click on inspect, and then just select maybe the button, you can see our styling has been applied. So this is a good way of debugging. Whenever maybe you've applied a style and it's not maybe being applied on the element, just right click on any of the elements, just like that. So like for this one, you can see the input field, we had added the padding and the border radius to 5 pixels, and so that's a quick way of double checking if everything is being applied correctly. So right now, if we go back to, if you click on the user start, you can see it's working correctly. If you go to the add user, it's working correctly, and if you click on the logo, it's going to redirect you to the home page. So everything is looking good. So the next part, in our next slide, we'll start working on making on making sure that we're able to get all of these input fields. That way, when a user adds the name, phone, and email, and then click add, this data is being added into our, I mean, once the user click add, the user should be redirected to the user's page, and then see the new entry right there. So if it was undo, they should be able to see the new entry down beneath this form. So let me go ahead and exit, and then I'll catch you guys on the next slide.